Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, bringing you my guide for God of War on God difficulty. Today we are going through Hades, and that's it. That's all we're doing today is just Hades, the full thing. We're going from beginning to end, and this is going to be a... I can't see from here, but I think that's like 20 minutes. Hang on. Yeah, it's around like 20 minutes right there, so that's a decent bit of time. After that, we leave Hades and we go back to Athens for like 5 minutes and then we're done. And then we go fight Ares and that's it. So this is going to be an easy week for me at least. So far, it's Tuesday. And normally I don't record anything at all on the weekdays. Like, work days I mean. But I figured why not do one today because we got off early. So, yeah. That's good for me. I don't care. I'm fine with that. You know, I'll take it. We got off like 4 or so hours earlier. Or no, 3-ish. Yeah, technically 3-ish, but still. Good enough for me. I don't care. You know, it works for me. Getting off early is basically just getting off early. And whenever I get the chance to do anything, then I'll do it. So, that's what I decided to do today. Was like, hey, might as well fucking record because I've been wanting to do this all week and had no time to do it whatsoever. So the first round of enemies you're going to have to deal with are these guys again. Again, I don't remember their name, but this time they're going to be covered in fire. There's really no technical difference that I know, except maybe they might do more damage, they might have more health. It's hard to say. I think I might have missed a chest down there. It looked like I did for a second, I'm not sure. It seems like there's some invisible walls here to where you can't knock these guys off. But the thing is, with these guys, their weakness is parries. It's just... These guys are ridiculous when it comes to parries, and I figured that out during this... Well, actually, I've done it in multiple playthroughs, but like after playing this particular playthrough, I decided that, yep, their main weakness and their main counter is basically just parry their ass. Until, like, we get to, like, you know, the new upgrade run, if I ever do that in the future. And that's just going to be a pain in the ass. Again, I've only made it to the desert, and it's not saying a lot. So, I guess I can go ahead and explain real fast, because this shit's going to be cut through, and I died a lot here. I'll admit that I fucking died a lot. So I might accidentally have a death that is still in here. I don't know yet. It depends on what my editing skills are. So, this area right here depends on checkpoints. There are certain platforms that you can jump on that will give you a checkpoint. Like, if it's got an archer on that, then there's more than likely a high chance that you'll get a checkpoint. Like, right there. I did actually die and come back, so... That's why. Now, the reason why I couldn't really upload a whole lot or record a whole lot last week is I had every single day for last weekend, I had to do something. Whether or not it just came out of nowhere or was planned. I had both basically happen. So, Friday I go down to my dad's, which again is like an hour. It's an hour away. So, that's already an hour of my time fucking wasted just going down. That's 2. You know, going there and going back. And yeah, I stayed up there for probably like an hour or 2. You know, I took my stepmom to the mall and all that. When I got up there, it was just my dad sitting on his phone, just listening to music before he went to work, and that's pretty much all he was doing. I saw my niece, and that was that. We went shopping and shit for Christmas stuff, and I had a good time there. Then, I had plans for Saturday that kind of got changed a little bit, time-wise. It started off at 6, was supposed to... Actually, there's supposed to be 2 things. There's supposed to be a surprise party at 12, which didn't come until 3. And then my cousin said, you know, sometime like Thursday, like, hey, let's do a game night at 6. And I'm like, okay. And then that changed from 6 to 3 as well, so they ended up staying here for like 2 hours or so. And I got a few things done, I think. I don't remember what I did, but I think I got a few things done. And then Sunday rolls around, and I'm just really pissed off. Just had a lot of different things. I had to go down to my grandma's for her birthday, and just, they're religious people. My grandma's religious, but she's not as bad as my grandpa is when it comes to, like, religion and talking about that kind of stuff. You know, she understands that we are different, and she accepts that. At least I think so. She seems to be pretty accepting of strange stuff. Like, one day we were watching South Park, and we were watching the one where the kids dropped a pig off a roof and tried to pretend like, you know, Butters was dead, and she just thought that was funny. And it was, well, she thought it was funny in like the way of like, oh my lord, you know, like stuff like that. And I don't know, the kids were there and they were kind of pissing me off. Kids as in like the cousins, they were just One wasn't even bothering to talk to me, and the other one just was being a little shit, so it happens. They're young, and I just wasn't having it that day. I came home and did some game dev stuff with David, and that was it. I had just like this massive amount of writer's block, and I'm just having trouble just trying to fucking write for it anymore. Because I'm the one, I'm the main leader of the dialogue. David does help with writing and stuff, but he's not the one that actually does the writing. As in, like, usually when it comes to text stuff, he'll just put in filler or whatever, and then I'll deal with it later. But when it comes to jokes and shit, you know, he'll tell some jokes and we'll throw that in there, and that's pretty much how that works. Like, when it comes to, like, design and shit, I'm more of, like, the co-designer. If there's something I need designed or, like, built up so I can, you know, move on to another path, then I'll design it and let him take care of the rest later. He's more of, like, the designer guy. And that's kind of how we are, and I would like it to be like that sometimes, but in some games it was harder than others, especially like our last game we wanted to make, because he wanted to be the artist of it, but he didn't think his art was good enough. And then we started working on it again later on in the future, and I actually don't know what happened to that. I guess we just got bored or stopped or something. Regardless, one of these days, we definitely want to make a game, but as it stands right now, RPG game will probably be our first and our best result as of right now until the future. So now there's a lot of things I want to do with my life. I just can't do them, and that's why I feel so hopeless, I guess, is because I can never get myself to do anything. And like I told my buddy Aaron, you know, you can do whatever the hell you want. By that I mean, like, anybody can do whatever the hell they want, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just consequences that come later that are, it's just the repercussions that come in later that are usually the thing that dignifies whether or not someone's gonna do that or not. You know what I mean? Like, you can basically just be, oh, how do I put this? You can cause a massive amounts of trouble if you wanted to. If you really wanted to. Theoretically speaking, there's nobody that can stop you until after you started it up. Because people have their own minds, you know, and people are usually think of their own things. And until that person acts out on their own actions, no one knows what the hell they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it can come into the same result as, like, with good things too. Not just bad things, but good things too. Like, a lot of people probably wouldn't think of me, like, if I wrote a random ass book for out of nowhere, that would probably surprise a lot of people. By that I mean, like, a lot of people would be like, damn, you actually wrote one? That's crazy. There's actually a couple people. No, I think there's like one that I know of right now. No, two. My brother used to write fan fictions right back then. And I know it sounds gay as hell, but I never actually read any of them, but he got quoted as, like, he was actually a pretty good writer. And I was like, really? Damn. And now he's taking creative writing and all that stuff, and he's kind of sort of helping me out with writing and shit. He knows when it comes to, like, my stories of, like, certain games and stuff that I want to make, you know. He can kind of tell, like, almost what's going to happen just because he knows how I do things. And so that's kind of scary, but also kind of cool, too. Like, you know, you have somebody you can sit around with. That's pretty cool. And there's there's a couple people. There's one person that's already wrote a book that I know of. And there's my stepmom who wants to write a book. I don't know if she is right now. I think she's writing one, trying to, or something. But regardless, I think it's kind of cool. Like, it just surprises you and comes out of nowhere. You're like, oh, okay, I didn't know you could do that, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can do anything you want, no matter what anybody tells you at all. I mean, there are the physical detriments sometimes, or just, you know, sometimes there's physical things to it, depending on, like, who you are. You know, there are physical limitations, but for the most part, if you really, really wanted to do something, you could plan it out for years and years and years and just do it. And that's how I think humans pretty much work for the most part. I know that just goes without saying, but at the same time, I feel like I could say it myself, because even though it's got nothing to do with this fucking guide, I'm over here just beating the shit out of Minotaurs. Well, there's really nothing to really talk about. We've already fought these guys plenty of times before. It's just once we get to Ares, that's when shit's gonna get pretty hard. Well, I guess one thing you could tell yourself when you come to, like, playing these games on hard is you can do it. You can fucking do it. Hell, like, I'm playing Cuphead right now. I'm only on the dragon boss. If that gives you any idea of how far I've made it. I'm already in the second world, and that's it. That's fucking it. I had my brother kill a boss for me. Not on purpose, but he just, you know, he got through all the way, and I was like, alright, cool. Fuck it, I'm not doing that. I got close enough, I'm like, I ain't worried about it. But yeah, like, you can play any game. I mean, if you are physically capable of playing games already, you should be physically capable of actually beating these games on the hardest difficulties. Depending on games, of course. But I'm just saying, like, I know I'm putting out, it's weird trying to say it. Basically, if I wanted to fucking beat Cuphead, I could do that. I know that's like one of the games that I just randomly talk about for no reason, but I'm actually enjoying the game. It's actually pretty good. I just heard like a car. I don't know which side it came from. I don't know if it's my neighbors or my father or my dad's here. Stepdad, I mean. I don't think so. Yeah, like actually, shit, I would love to do like a guide of that in the future too. Just like a boss guide and a level guide. That's what it would be. It'd basically just be like, well, that's all the game is. It's just every once in a while you get a level to play through, and every once in a while, not every once in a while, but for the most part you fight bosses and shit. So that's pretty much what they go for. What I'm doing now is, since there's going to be a magic box up here, I'm just going to go ahead and just waste Poseidon's Rage on these assholes. Because I really have no reason to use it, especially on the first spiral. I might... No, okay, I don't skip past this part. Okay. I was going to say, I think I skipped past the first spiral, but I don't. I showed that off. There's no reason to show it off, but I decided to anyway, just for the hell of it. If you want to get these guys down quick, what I recommend doing is at least doing the triangle slams. Just do as many slams as you can, especially with the square, triangle, triangle, and then to a triangle, or do like a square triangle into a square. That's what I do. Sometimes, or, you know, the double triangle. I usually start off with square first, just for the hell of it. I know it's just a bad habit. That's all it is. It just gives me an extra hit, so, you know, why not take it? I would say use that for health, but if you've got this down pat, you should be fine. There should be no reason for you to go grab health right there, and they'll give you health at the top. They at least they think they do. They should. There is a little trick to where if you stand in the middle of like the line where the cylinders cut off, like you go from one to the next, if you stand in the middle of it, then you shouldn't be able to move, I think. Or no, I think you shouldn't get hit, or it's either that or you don't move. I think you move. Or it might... Because, like, there's two different things going two different ways, so... Shit, if that happened in real life, you'd probably get cut in half. You know, like, your body would be stuck to, like, the bottom half, and, like, your bottom half of your legs would be stuck to the bottom, and then, like, the top half would be stuck to the top. You just fucking die. So, I was wrong about upgrading Hades. I guess I accidentally... I guess I actually just, instead, upgraded Artemis. And... I upgrade that one last. I show off what Artemis looks like at level 2, which is purple. I think level 1 was like what, blue? Or some shit. All you get, I think, if I remember correctly, if you upgrade the blade, you get just extra damage, which I don't even use as a weapon, to be honest. I mean, it would be cool to do like a just Blade of Artemis run if this game even had fucking New Game Plus. That'd be kind of neat, wouldn't it? Does it? Actually, I don't think it does. I know God of War 2 does, because you have to get the Blade of Olympus somehow. Yeah, that one does. I think that was like the first one to do it, too, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So yeah, there's a magic chest down there, there's a health chest down there, so I skip up this, and I did get hit a few times, that's why I skipped it. There's going to be a health chest and magic chest up here, so you got plenty of chests. Now we're on to the last little bit of Hades. I think this is a 20-minute video because... we're like 15 minutes in right now, and all we have to do now is just fight the satyrs. So, that's pretty much kind of technically it. Hades isn't really that long of a level if you go through it just fine. It's actually quite short. Hell, the fucking game's short as hell. Like, I don't remember what time I got for it, but I think it's like 5 to 6 hours. And currently, right now, I'm playing South Park, The Stick of Truth, like the first one out of the new gen of South Park games. I'm playing that on the hardest difficulty alongside trying to get other trophies and shit. Even though playing on hard doesn't get you anything, so... yeah, there's really no reason to play on hard unless you just want to. And that's me for you. That's Hardcorian for you. That's what he wants to do. He's like, fuck it, I want this. I want it hard, daddy. Oh god, that sounded so wrong. But so right at the same time. So satyrs can be knocked off, I believe, on this part. They should be able to. You should be able to knock them off. I think there's a way. I don't know. It depends on the walls. They might have invisible walls up here just to fuck with you. If that's the case, well, then just kill them. I mean, you can stone them if you wanted to. It's a stone, a stone. Just take them out like you naturally do. You know, if you got your blades all the way up, then you should be fine with this. There shouldn't be any problems. Just fucking parry their ass. And they go down pretty easily. They drop health and magic at the same time. So, if you wanted to start using Poseidon's Rage like I'm going to, like right now, then you could do that. I don't know how much damage fully Poseidon's Rage does, but I like to consider it half of their health. That way, like, whenever you're beating the shit out of them, a little bit more, you know, it's not going to take as long as it does naturally, because these guys take forever to fucking kill sometimes, I'm telling you. They really do. But back to South Park real fast. I want to make mention, if I ever do a guide of the first of the new gen games, meaning, you know, Stick of Truth, if I do a guide to that, I'm probably going to do like what Seraphim did on his channel, where he does like hard mode, nobody left behind, along with that trophy. That way, kind of gives you an excessive challenge, you know what I mean? Like, there's two different things at one time, and it's just like with Fractured Butthole. I want to do the token experience guide, where it's basically you play as a black guy, and you play on Mastermind. You have to have black skin and play on Mastermind. That's the idea of that, which I think the, well, choosing, you know, your race and all that in the beginning, I don't think that really affects too much from what I've heard. I think it only affects, like, how much money you get, and that's it. But even then, that's still, you still get shit for money in the game anyway. And I heard that you get made fun of, or you get certain, like, dialogue that you can hear only if you play as black, and I think that's pretty funny. A lot of people are going to get offended by that, but, you know, it's just, it's South Park. What do you fucking expect? You know, it's just a damn joke. You can call me white for all I fucking care. You know, just don't be a racist, that's all. That's what I say. Don't be a bitch about things, but don't be an asshole either. You know what I mean? Like, don't be that guy that calls everybody, you know, I guess, since I should be professional on this channel, even though I barely am, don't be that guy that calls everybody the N-word or something like that, you know. I'll say it on my main channel all the time. But for some reason I can't say it on Hardcorian because I just want to keep Hardcorian straight and narrow as best as I can before it gets fucked over like it does my main channel. So, you know, I don't want to be an asshole, so I'm just not going to say it. I like to be an asshole sometimes, but I figured for Hardcorian, we're two different people, so we might as well just leave it as is. Just, I don't know. This world is kind of just fucked up, I think. Fucked up at, well, in a lot of ways, too. Not just people being overly sensitive, which is, okay. It's kind of nice that people are starting to finally, like, take action toward people being made fun of. I like that. It took them long enough, but it's nice to have people actually, you know, try to, I guess you could say, be nice toward those people that are different than your average person. Your average person, both male and female, in my opinion, is basically just, well, they're just male and female, and they're just straight. That's it. That's all to me is what a normal person is, and they just have a normal working job. You know, just normal average person, like I try to be, even though I like both sides of the field, but that's something else. I'm still technically, in my opinion, at least average. At least an average guy. And, you know, I don't care. I'm fine with that. I like what I like, and you like what you like. That's what I say. I just wish everybody would get the fuck along, but that probably won't ever happen. You know, they're trying to do that now, but it just isn't working out for me. I left this scene in here just because I wanted to make the fade out at the end a little bit more worth it, because, you know, like, once you jump out of here, you're fucking straight in Athens. That's it. There's nothing else to this video. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time when we play some more God of War on God difficulty. The next episode's going to consist of us going through Athens, and that's it. And yeah, I want to try to get this video rendered today and hopefully do commentary for the next video, which should be 5 minutes long. So, all right, take care, everybody.